But we don't care. Let's see, do you have any milk that I can guzzle down before it's all used up by the various single-celled organisms that lead to it rotting? Yes, there's all sorts of books and stuff, and bags of things that won't spoil. I didn't get any food, did I? Bags of things don't give you very much nutrition at all. I can actually show you right now. This gives us 2 nutrition. Yeah, they are very low on nutrition. Some of them are better than others. Probably only good to get the ones that are higher on nutrition. But even so, I don't care so much. Let's pick up an orange and use it as a weapon. Now, let's not use this orange as a weapon, because unlike other games, oranges aren't good in this game as a weapon. I don't know what games do have oranges good. We're probably going to have most success looking for a steak knife if we look for it inside of a residential building majig, as opposed to these buildings that you'd expect to be able to buy them from. Before we do any of that, though, let's run for the subway, because we are scared of everything, and everything keeps becoming more everything. So let's go this way, not go to the bookstore, the library, the whatever we want to call it, because we're an illiterate bit, so we don't want to be doing anything with that. We're just going to run in between zombies, and with a squirrel companion. I want to give that squirrel companion a, what do you call those little animal mask things, and carry him around with me, and he shall be my friend. Let's go down and back up. Another thing you might want to do with subway stations is just go down them whenever you can, because number one, it opens up on the map a place you can go later on when you actually do want to explore the subways, which is actually probably the safest place in the entire game. That and the basement area, but the basement area doesn't give you food. This place gives you food, sort of. Another thing that you can get from this is the discovery of basements. Basements are incredibly useful, and they're incredibly difficult to find if you just go to houses. But if you're exploring underground, you're bound to run into bunches of basements eventually. So let's avoid that place. And all the zombies on the world teleported around randomly or stopped existing. So we should be able to explore a little bit more. I think I'm going to go to this building because it's relatively close, and there are a bunch of other buildings nearby it. So we've yet to go into it. Instead of cutting ourselves on stuff, let's actually break the door down. And somebody else apparently was here first in the game's idea of things. Let's get those fingerless gloves, because apparently fingerless gloves are the best gloves in the game. I have no idea. They're probably not. But I think they're pretty good for combat, considering that they give you combat stuff. Do we have a hat? We don't have a hat. We can also replace our thingamajig later on, so let's consider that. Let's get a scarf, because I don't think that we have any scarf things. Wear that, and we don't have too much encumbrance. We have 1 mouth encumbrance. Let's see what that encumbrance does. That brings our running cost up. Let's drop that scarf. I like running. I don't like having the cost of running going up. A couple of lighters, some more scarves, useless stuff that I don't need. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Let's get that. Rag, frying pan, sewing kit. That would be good if we knew how to sew. And if we knew how to read, that's a butcher knife. Just as good as a steak knife. If we knew how to read, and we can just read the So What book. So What clothing, of course. Because this game loves puns almost as much as I do. But enough of that. Let's examine a door instead of opening it, for some reason. And I hope this is a flashlight. It's a BB. Is it also a flashlight? No. That's a soldering item. Iron. You can actually pick up items by examining it next to it and picking up that way. You don't actually have to stand on top of it. Very convenient for doing various shenanigans with. But let's just... Whoa. Is that a door here? Yes. To the bathroom. The bathroom is one of the most important rooms because it often has... Whoa. Did I just teleport or am I just stupid? Because it often has lots of nice things like the first aid medikit. And the sun's glare is in our eyes, but I don't care because it's not acid rain. Now that we have our first full set of thingamajigs, let's look in here and be strategic about this. We want to have lots of access to lots of things. I want to get this subway station because it's very close to the beehive, and I want to be able to go into a subway station as soon as I get away from the beehive. That way I can travel through the subway station arrive here, which is somewhat close to the to our base, and then get back into our base and rest if need be, without having any interruptions. That is our goal. Sewers are very safe, even though it'll take us a little bit longer to travel through the sewers. It's going to be a lot safer than dealing with crazy fast zombies that there's no way of avoiding getting a couple hits from unless you have a gun. And we don't like guns because we are a warrior, a zombie fighting warrior. No, we're going to be fighting something completely different from zombies very soon. So let's actually we could just go into the sewer right here and try to go up here, but we don't have a flashlight yet. So another thing we could do is try to go around and look for flashlights. We're going to need one anyways later on, so I'm considering doing that. I don't know why the hardware store didn't have any flashlights, or maybe it did and I'm just dumb. I think it might be worth going back there. Is there another, there are a few more hardware stores, so let's actually go back to the hardware store after I go to the subway station. Luckily, this is not a bad weather. There are bad weathers. This is an okay weather. It makes our glare thing -1 perception. We already don't have a perception. See, that's -1 from 1 is 1. We learned our math the same place we learned our reading, which is nowhere. And therefore, we are immune to the various logical thingamajigs relating to math and other thingamajigs. So let's go to the hardware store instead of the freaking clothing store or gasoline stations, which are good for food and clothing, not respectively. But we don't care about that. Let's ignore these zombie corpses because we don't feel like dealing with them quite yet. And see, did I miss any, I think it would be here if I did miss it. I don't think I missed any. I really want a flashlight. Technically, you can go through the sewers without a flashlight. In fact, in certain situations, it may be preferable to travel in the sewers without a oh, that's a skeleton. Skeletons are still scary because they are relatively fast. So let's hide. Come on, skeleton. You're not a zombie at all. Let's do that. You guys break through there. Can't close that door because the door doesn't exist anymore. But we still got to sneak by unharmed for the most part. We still have that torso damage, but we don't have any pain, which is much more important. We also didn't pick up any of the stuff in our base, and that is another skeleton. So let's wait for that skeleton to come to us, because I don't think we can outrun a skeleton. Maybe we can. Because it looks like the zombie's outrunning the skeleton, maybe not. Yeah, we can outrun a skeleton. I underestimated. Oh, no, we didn't. We can't outrun a skeleton. We can outrun it, just not very far. I don't know. Let's talk to this rabbit and see if it has anything interesting to say. Stop running away from me. Okay, I think it's capital C. You talk to yourself for a moment. No, I want to talk to the rabbit. I want him to say that he's very late for an important date or something stupid like that. But he will not. I can actually do Control G and accidentally summon an enemy, speaking of which I should save. Not summon an enemy, summon a person, which is a thing that's not complete in this version of the game, which is actually an old version. As per usual for myself, I always go with the old versions instead of the better versions, because I'm weird that way. But what was I talking about? I was talking about something to do with mops and brooms. No, I was talking about versions. I was talking about summoning people. Yes, if I do Control Shift G, I'm considering doing that and loading the save, but that would be too much work, so I'm not going to do that. The point is, you get to summon pink @ signs that will yell at you, or trade with you, or yell at you and trade with you. But I'm not interested in either of those. There are also special areas where there are supposed to be apparently lots of guys who own things that you can trade with. A particular area just meant for that. But I'm gonna look at the map. No, but apparently it's not implemented in this version of the game. You have nothing in your bathroom, right? Just wanted to check because I saw your toilet. Always check for those toilets, because wherever there's a toilet, there is health. And you need the health of a toilet. Nothing's healthier than a toilet. Enough of that joke, though. Let's break into here. In a stupid way. 2x4. Two-way radio. Why don't you have any flashlights? I'm sure the sporting place has a flashlight. Why don't you have a flashlight? It'd make more sense for you to have a flashlight. We can get a chainsaw and start to beat up our enemies that way. But that's boring. That is too boring. we are going to do it the traditional way. Let's open that door. Probably could have opened the other door too. It probably wasn't locked. I don't know. It might have been. So let's go into that sporting goods store. I'm tired of wandering around. And sure, if you want to go on that thing that makes you very slow, then sure. And that apparently was a very addicted to nicotine zombie. A nicotine zombie. Let's avoid those nicotine zombies. Those guys will get you hooked. Okay, I'm already surrounded. That's not, well, not surrounded, but I'm already completely covered by these guys. And apparently the sports place has backpacks and hammers. Nice. And combat knives. And BB things. I didn't realize that they were so amazing. String baseball helmet we want. Radio. T-shirt. Fire extinguisher. Other various thingamajigs. Baseball bat. We don't want a baseball bat. That's a good weapon, I have to tell you. If you are going to be a, whatchamahoosit. Here is the flashlight we were looking for. If you are going to be a whatchamahoosit. If you are going to, be a basher, then you definitely want to start with one of those things. But we're not a basher. We are a runaway. Let's hide here and take them all on one at a time. This should be possible. And it is! Hooray, they are actually letting us do this. And he hit us. Oh well. Let's butcher. And that's not only used for butcher. Sadly, if you butcher a zombie, you cannot eat its meat. I mean, you can eat its meat. I can eat it, but it's tainted meat, and I'm probably going to die from it. I don't know, because I've never done it. But, later on in butchery, you can actually make it not tainted and eat zombies. That's like, one of them are Russian things. I'm sure lots of people in Russia eat zombie brain. Whoa, that's a skeleton and a shrieker. Apparently shriekers are, according to my best guess, which is probably not accurate at all, the guys that will summon lots of enemies. By summon lots of enemies, I mean make noise that makes nearby enemies come towards you, even if they normally would just wander around like stupid zombies. So instead of dealing with everybody there, let's run south to the sewer. And let's start our journey in the sewers. And we're immediately going to start off showing off a very interesting thing. See this? Where are you? See the thing that's not on the screen yet? See this? This manhole cover? You cannot remove manhole covers unless you have a crowbar, which I think you might be able to sometimes find lying around. But we don't have a crowbar, yet we are still able to open it using another method. A method called being silly. Let's apply our flashlight. Luckily, most of the time, the subway places and sewer places have lots of